Hello everyone, a warm welcome to all of you in today's daily current affairs session on EduTap, and I hope that all of you are healthy and preparing well for upcoming exams. So guys, the SEBI Grade A prelims exam are already over, and I really believe that all of you have really rocked the exam. And now when we talk about these exams, we all know that current affairs plays a very important part, and guys, PIB is one of the very most important source of these current affairs. That is the reason that I am back with a very interesting session in which we will be discussing the CEPA, a historic CEPA. So guys, India and UAE have recently signed a historic trade pact marking a new era of economic cooperation. And what exactly the MOUs which are being signed between the two countries, what exactly is the highlight of this trade pact? We are going to discuss all of this in our today's daily PIB news session. So before beginning the session, if you are new to your YouTube channel, kindly subscribe it and press the bell icon to receive all the latest updates of the courses and videos offered by us. And you can also join our Telegram channel to get the access to the PDF of the sessions. To join the Telegram channel, kindly click on the link given in the description below. So guys, now let's move on to the session. Let's get started. And here you can see the topic, the headline from the PIB itself, the India UAE virtual summit. So guys, recently a virtual summit was being held between India and United Arab Emirates, and during this particular summit both the countries have signed a historic CEPA, that is the Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement. So what exactly this agreement is all about and how it is really going to impact both the countries, we are going to discuss all of this in our today's session. So let's first discuss about the India UAE virtual summit. So guys, recently Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi and Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan have held a virtual summit, and during this summit both of them have launched a joint vision statement which stands for advancing the India and UAE comprehensive strategic partnership, new frontiers, new milestones. So basically this joint vision statement establishes a roadmap for the future oriented partnership between these two countries, and it is also going to promote a new trade, investment and innovation dynamic in the diverse sectors. So basically this virtual summit, a lot of historic agreements have been signed by the two countries, and this particular part is really very special for both the countries because India is celebrating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, that is 75th year of the India's independence. And apart from that guys, UAE is also celebrating its 50th anniversary of its foundation. So that is the reason that this particular summit as well as this particular historic trade pact is really very important from the point of view of these both two countries. So now when we talk about the India and UAE historic trade pact, that is a Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement. So guys, this was basically India's first bilateral trade agreement in the Middle East and North African region, and apart from that it is also India's first comprehensive trade agreement in a decade, and this is also being considered as the fastest agreement which is said to be negotiated between the two countries within a period of 3 months. So basically in a very short period of time both of these countries have basically negotiated on all these particular agreements. And now let's discuss that what exactly these agreements are, what are the different topics on which both the countries have announced their cooperation. So let's discuss these MOUs. So guys, when we talk about this Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement, it is going to bring in strong multiplier benefits to all the stakeholders. That is basically this particular agreement, this historic trade pact is going to enhance the flow of goods, services, capital, technology, and guys, that's how it is going to allow 90% of the country's exports a duty-free access to the Emirates, and that's how it is really going to help the India. And apart from that, this particular MOU between these two countries is also going to add 10 lakh. See, this is a very high number, that it is going to induce 10 lakh employment generation in India in the various labor intensive industries such as the gems and jewelry, textiles, leather and footwear, plastics, automobiles, agriculture products, engineering products, pharmaceutical, medical devices and other furniture, wood products and sports goods. So in all these particular labor intensive industry, it is going to generate 10 lakh employment generation all over India, and that's how it is really going to be beneficial for India as well as United Arab Emirates. So guys, these were the major MOU areas where the MOU have been signed, and now let's discuss the other MOUs which you are also required to remember from the exam point of view. So basically, first of all, an MOU was being signed between the Agriculture and Processed Food Products Export and Development Authority and the DP World and AI Dhara on Food Security Corridor Initiative. So basically, both these institutions from both these countries are going to work on the Food Security Corridor Initiative. Apart from that, India's Gift City and Abu Dhabi Global Market on the cooperation in the financial projects and services. So these two MOUs are also very important, and apart from that, now comes the very important point, the very important MOU which has been signed between the two countries, and that is the cooperation in the climate action that whole world is viewing as really a very important step which we all require to undertake in order to make Earth a really very beautiful place for the human beings and for the upcoming generation. And that's how it was really required to work to agree on the cooperation in the climate action. And apart from that, both these countries have also decided to sign an MOU on education, and they are also going to work on the automatic registration and the market authorization for the Indian medicines. So guys, there are some other important MOUs as well which you can go through them, but here I would like to say one more important point, that this particular historic trade pact between India and UAE is also expected to increase the bilateral trade from $60 billion in present fiscal year to $100 billion in the next 5 years. So guys, do remember this particular data, as this is really very important from the exam point of view. So here you can see that we are having different institutions from India which have signed an MOU with the UAE institutions, that is APEDA. We have GIFT, that is Gujarat International Finance Tech City. So guys, these were the major MOUs that were being signed between India and UAE during the India UAE virtual summit. So I hope that this is very much clear to all of you. And now let's quickly discuss that what is going to be the impact of these particular MOUs which have been signed between these two countries. So basically, it is going to transform bilateral economic and investment ties. It is going to deepen the relations of both these countries, which is having a long history of good relations. And apart from that, it is going to open up emerging trade routes between the Africa and Asia. And apart from that, it is also going to promote global trade liberalization and propel economic growth. And apart from that, this is also going to lead to reduced tariffs and enhance market access from the India exports to the UAE. Apart from that, it is also going to give new life to the trading corridors from Africa to Asia. So basically, this particular historic trade pact which has been signed by India and UAE is really very important from the India as well as UAE point of view. So now guys, there is a practice question which is based on this India UAE Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement, and what you are required to do in this question, all of you are requested to find out, to identify the correct statements in relation with the India UAE Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement, and then tell me in the comment section that what exactly is the right answer to this particular question. Kindly do not see the answer, just identify the correct statement in relation with this particular topic that we have discussed in the today's session. And what you are required to do, you are just required to analyze these particular statements which are being mentioned here as per the discussion that we had in the today's session. Okay, so guys, now let's move on to the next practice question of our today's session. And the next question is, recently Government of India, World Bank have signed a loan agreement of dash amount for the implementation of reward project. So basically, recently an MOU, a loan agreement was being signed between India and the World Bank for the implementation of this reward project. So here the reward project is also important, and apart from that, the loan agreement value which has been signed for the implementation of this project. And guys, what exactly is the right answer? The right answer is option A, that is $115 million. So guys, it is not B, it is A. I will correct it in the PDF, so do not worry about it. And now guys, let's discuss this particular news in detail, and let's see that what exactly it is having from the exam point of view. So here you can see that Government of India, World Bank, and apart from that, Karnataka and Odisha government have signed this agreement of $115 million for the implementation of this reward project. And what does reward stands for? See here, the full form of the reward is also very important for all of you to remember from the exam point of view. And when we talk about the reward, it stands for rejuvenating watersheds for agricultural resilience through innovative development. Okay, so we will also be discussing that what exactly the watershed is all about and how it is really going to impact India and why this particular MOU has been signed. Okay, so guys, here you can see that the loan agreement has been signed for the implementation of this reward project that we have already discussed. So it is going to help national as well as state institutions to adopt improved watershed management practices in order to increase the farmers' income by increasing their resilience to the climate change, promoting higher productivity and better income. See, we all know that Government of India has basically committed to restore 26 million hectares of the degraded land by year 2030. It is also aiming to double the farmers' income by year 2023. So this particular step, that is the reward project, is one such initiative taken by the government, in particular basically eyeing this particular target which it has already stressed. Okay, so guys, now when we talk about the watershed, what exactly watershed is all about? See, it is an area of land which drains all the streams and rainfall to a common outlet, and the example of this is here. So here you can see the different streams are just accumulating at this common particular area. So this particular kind of land, this area of land is basically referred to as the watershed, and the effective watershed management is going to enhance the livelihoods of the people which are basically living in those areas, in those rainfed areas, and it is also going to build a more resilient food system in that particular area. So that's why this watershed management is very important, and that's how India is also aiming toward this particular kind of project through the reward project. And guys, here you can see that India has also one of the largest watershed management program in the world, and this reward program, which is basically we are discussing in this particular session, this program is going to further advance this progress by developing and applying comprehensive spatial data and technologies, decision support tools and the knowledge exchanges. So that's how it is really going to help India, and also by increasing the farmers' resilience towards the climate change. And apart from that, it is also going to make strong these existing food systems. So I hope that this is very much clear to all of you. And now when we talk about the Gooey question from the previous session, the Gooey question was basically based on the Nari Shakti Puraskars from the previous session, and the right answer to this particular question is option E, that is all of the above. That is all the statements mentioned here are correct in relation with the Nari Shakti Puraskar. So guys, now when we talk about the Gooey question from the today's session, today we are having a Gooey question on a very important topic, that is the intensified mission Indradhanush. So guys, all of you are required to prepare this particular topic because it is really very important from the exam point of view. And I'm marking the star here. See, we have already taken a detailed discussion, a session on this particular intensified mission Indradhanush. So you can watch that particular session. I will add this particular session on the I button. But for now, what you are required to do, you are required to identify the statements, the correct statement in relation with the intensified mission Indradhanush, and answer the question in the comment section below. So guys, now when we talk about the homework question from the previous session, the question was basically based on one of the Asia's largest tribal festival, that is Medharam Jatara, and you were only required to identify the name of the state where this particular festival is being celebrated, and the right answer was Telangana, the state in which this particular festival is being celebrated. And now I am having a long list of the star performers from the previous session, and I'm really glad to see your participation in the comment section. So guys, really happy to see this, and I really wish that you just keep the spirits high. And when we talk about the star performers from the previous session, then these are Nilesh, Balaji, Janani, Mukul, Dinesh, Sai, then we have Alankrita, Mukesh, Tejaswini, Yukti, Dinesh and Sai. So guys, Mansi, Shubham, Joshi, so all of these are the star performers, and if you also want your name to be mentioned here in the upcoming session, then kindly answer this question which is basically on your screen. So guys, in this question, basically recently the government of India has extended the continuation of RUSA scheme. Okay, and this has been extended till 31st of March 2026. So here what you are required to tell me, you are required to tell me that what does RUSA stands for. See, in the exam we have seen that questions are being asked from the abbreviation of the schemes itself, and that is the reason that I have presented this question. So kindly answer this question in the comment section below, and I will be giving out your names in the upcoming session. So guys, I really believe that this session was really very useful and fruitful to all of you. If you are having any queries, you can drop us your mail at hello@edutap.co.in, and you can also call us at 814-620-7241. So guys, thank you for joining us. Wish you all happy learning.